Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to Fragrance Sense. As you can see, today we are going to compare the full lineup of Sauvage from the house of Christian Dior. Now, as most of us know, Sauvage started its journey in the year 2015 and was developed by the master perfumer François Demachy from the house. Since then, it's been an iconic perfume and a staple for a lot of people who either love this DNA or tend to buy premium designer fragrances. Since I had collected the entire lineup over the years, I thought, why not compare each one of them? So my journey with Sauvage started the year it was released. I got a bottle for myself from a boutique in Dubai, and since then I've been a huge fan of this DNA. Now, without further ado, let's start with the comparison. As you can see, I've already sprayed all of these perfumes on different strips. Having tried them for a good amount of time, I still felt let's give them a fresh perspective. Now, starting with the deodorant, which in my opinion is based exactly on the DNA of the Eau De Toilette, the EDT version. It's a perfect companion with this entire lineup. This sets the base of the DNA in its original form when you're about to wear any one of these. Wow. I personally love it the most with the ELXR and the EDT. Coming to the Eau De Toilette formulation. Wow. This, friends, is as fresh the Sauvage DNA can get. With a composition based on bergamot, black and pink pepper, lavender, vetiver, cedar, and dollops of ambroxan, it's also the safest out of the entire lot, along with the very cool spray. As you can see, this is a 200 ml bottle which I just got around a month ago, and the dent in it. When I'm confused what to choose from my collection for the day and don't know what to pick, this is where my hand goes. Now, Sauvage DNA, my friends, I believe is a very clean, refreshing, day wear scent which definitely makes a statement. And in places where you have hot weather, you can also very much wear this in the evening. The lavender, vetiver and cedar note specifically, which makes the base of this scent, makes it appealing also as an evening wear. There's one complaint though. Over the years, I definitely believe the Sauvage DNA has been heavily watered down by the brand. In my experience, if you go with the regular number of sprays, let's say around 8 to 10 sprays in the morning, it's not going to last more than probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So that's why I go ballistic on the sprays. At least around 25 to 30 sprays. But the good part about it is that the quality is so good that it does not induce a headache or make me feel nauseous. In my part of the world, it's perfect for summer and the monsoon season. Just remember to go heavy on sprays. Now, coming to the next release, which I believe was launched in the year 2017, if I'm not wrong. The very cool spray DNA has a very strong added grapefruit in the opening, which also I believe is done in a more dense way. To my nose, it actually sits right between the Sauvage EDT and the Sauvage Eau De Parfum. This also has very good longevity. This, I also believe, is a very cool solution if you want to carry Sauvage in a bag without worrying that the bottle would break. The concentration, I believe, is derived from the EDT DNA. For me personally, this is the best companion to the gym or if you're heading out on an adventure. And it also lasts a very good 6 to 8 hours depending on the weather. In my opinion, this is my second bottle, by the way. In both the bottles, one was an old batch, one is a new batch. I've not come across any reformulation as such, but that's purely based on my nose. Please don't confuse this with the deodorant. The deodorant is made on a typical deodorant formulation which is supposed to be used on the body. This is actually an EDT perfume in a deodorant bottle. Very cool idea. Now moving on, the next release was the Sauvage Eau De Parfum. So now this is where things start to get interesting for this DNA. The Sauvage EDP, friends, was released in the year 2018 and made by the same perfumer, François Demachy. The perfumer introduced vanilla and light spices in this blend. As compared to the previous three, this is denser and I believe it can be worn throughout the year. This is where it also becomes an all-day scent, preferred in the mornings and in the evenings alike. The Eau De Parfum sits right between the previous three concentrations and the concentrations that came after it. It's slightly denser, has better longevity than the previous three, but skims out a little on the projection because of the concentration. Now, I think most of us know as the concentration starts to get denser, the longevity starts to increase and the projection starts to decrease. But in my honest opinion, I believe this was reformulated too. The current batches don't hold over, let's say, 5 to 6 hours, and you still have to overspray a little. In my experience, say anywhere between 15 to 20 sprays. But it's a great scent nonetheless. Before we proceed, friends, I would also like you all to keep in mind that my review is based in the weather conditions I've used them. I'm from Mumbai, India, so the weather here, usually throughout the year, is humid. Very humid in the summers and monsoon, and lesser in the winters. Winters for us, friends, does not go below 16 to 17 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it hits 12 to 13 degrees, but that's when we are very lucky. Now moving on to the next concentration and release. Sauvage Parfum, friends, was released in the year 2019, also by the same perfumer, François Damasci. Now this DNA, I believe, was a significant change from the previous lineup. It got much more dense with added citrus notes of mandarin orange, strong and dense woody tones of sandalwood and cedar. This also becomes more heavy on the notes of vanilla and tonka, with a slight touch of incense. In my honest opinion, this is strictly an evening wear in my part of the world. And that too, I would prefer to wear this in the monsoons through the winters. I wish we had better weather to rock this in the morning and evening alike. There's also something to keep in mind. Even though there's a change in the blend, it somehow keeps the Sauvage DNA intact within itself. Again, I still believe this was slightly reformulated. Sadly, I did not get this when it was launched, but upon my confirmation with friends who were using this perfume, the original formulation lasted for over 12 hours, but now I believe it's about 7 to 8 hours or 9 hours tops. Although I would recommend this perfume for what it does, but after the release of the Elixir and the Eau Forte, I feel the Sauvage Parfum now is redundant and you can look at other options. Now moving on to the next release, the Sauvage Elixir, and a heartthrob for most Sauvage users. This, friends, developed to be an outstanding release by the master. Again, this was François Damasci's creation. This was released in the year 2021. Oof, this is amazing, simply amazing. Now this, friends, gets even more dense with strong woods and addition of an ambery profile in its base, with top citrus notes being strongly helmed by grapefruit and spices. Here, the mids are dominated by lavender, base must be sandalwood, I feel, amber and patchouli. Now this is strictly an evening wear and an amazing one. This too keeps the Sauvage DNA, but moves significantly forward with its approach in the blend. The good thing about Sauvage Elixir, the concentration on this is nuclear, lasting for more than 12 hours. I don't believe there's been any reformulation in the juice. I've received many more compliments on this as compared to the Eau De Parfum and the Parfum. This reminds me of the time when Sauvage, the EDT, was launched and people used to compliment me left, right and center, saying how good the perfume was that I was wearing. This got Sauvage its fame back and is now very much loved by the people who love this DNA. The longevity is over 12 hours and somehow Dior has even managed to make this project. I definitely recommend this for people looking for an evening wear which has a sweet, woody, ambery profile but is also fresh to some extent. Totally love this one. Now, moving on to the Eau Forte. Let me have a sniff at this first. Okay. Now this is where, friends, things took a drastic turn and change. When in 2021, François Damasci stepped down as the perfume creation director at Christian Dior, Francis Courkjean took his place, who created the brand Maison Francis Courkjean and one of its most iconic fragrances, Baccarat Rouge 540. When Francis Courkjean was asked to develop a newer take on Sauvage, firstly, he made this as a water-based perfume, I don't know why, and secondly, he gave this DNA a complete overhaul, and in my honest opinion, in a good way. Now let me tell you why. When I first sprayed this, friends, I just did not connect with this fragrance. I just did not connect. And I hated it, to be honest, because I felt that this was too much of a deviation from the entire Sauvage lineup. I believe the core Sauvage DNA was reduced a lot in this fragrance, say around 25% or 20% of the original DNA, and lots and lots of bleachy lavender and incense notes. This was released in the year 2024 and I absolutely dismissed it when I tried it first. Cut to the year 2025, when I saw that I had all the Sauvage perfumes collected with me before this one, I got a little greedy and got this to complete my lineup. At first, I did not have the courage to give this a full wear in the beginning, just because the bleachy lavender and the incense notes were too overwhelming for me. But then on a rainy day, I thought, why not? Let's give it a full wear. The first wearing, friends, got me into thinking. I somewhat shared the same opinion when I tried it first. But where things changed for me was the dry down. On the next day, I was intrigued to give this one more wearing. I wore it for a couple of days, and you know what? I don't know, somehow I started liking this. I grew to really like this one. I understand it's no more loyal to the Sauvage lineup or its DNA, but what it is should be experienced in its own. I still don't like this more than the Elixir or the EDT, which are my favorites, but it's not bad either. The good parts for me are its nuclear performance, amazing projection and longevity. On my clothes, it lasted for over 10 to 12 hours and the projection was for a very decent 3 to 4 hours. But I would only recommend this for pleasant to cooler weathers. Absolutely a no, strict no for summers. I understand all the hate that it has got over the internet, but hey, every nose smells differently and people over the world have varied choices amongst whatever they own. All in all, a good release, but not the best one. So here was my comparison review, friends. If you have used any of these, please share your experience in the comment section. Or if you've tried all of them, please let me know which one you like the most or your ranking among all of these. Also, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that it can be an inspiration for me to make more content like this for you. Thank you so much. Until next time.